Never miss an episode of Create, Build, and Manage Daily again. Subscribe to our podcast and listen on the go.
My next guests are representing the Texas Association of Venues and Facilities, which is gearing up for their annual conference in October. Joining me tonight via Zoom are Dena Bartlett and Denise Hudson-Bryan. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time. Talk about the mission of your association.
Well, the mission of the association is basically to be another asset and a resource for venues across Texas. We have a form that goes on all the time that you can ask any question that you want. It goes to every member of our facility. And then it creates a network of, venues. I don't think the venues realm would have survived through COVID without this association. It was more than helpful to know what all venues across Texas were doing when you were shut down. What were you doing with your staff? And then when you came back open, how were you cleaning? What were you doing for social distancing and all of that kind of stuff? So it's a great resource that connects you with venues all across Texas.
Makes sense. In fact, I was thinking about how challenging the past couple of years must have been for venues and facilities.
Very.
I mean, you mentioned the pandemic, and now you have supply chain and everything else that's going on. That's a lot to deal with, and you guys have survived, right?
Yes, and like I said, it's nice because we have venues. I mean, we have like Borger, Midland, down around to the Houston area, down around the Metroplex area. Mm-hmm. Myself, where we're out like in Central Texas. So to be able to know what your peers are doing and how they're handling like I said, the staffing issues, the supply chain issues, and then like I said, when we were in COVID, that was a whole new world for us, trying to figure out, what is 25% capacity, what is 50%. I mean, the rules were all changing in that. So it's been a great resource for all of us.
Indeed. So when I think about a venue or facility, full confession, I usually think about the big trade shows. But,
right.
When I look at it, you guys host all sorts of events. It's not just the trade shows.
True. I mean, I would say and I know Denise in almost all of our facilities, which this is where it's such a blessing to have our association have that resource, because we do everything from baby showers, reunions, high school reunions. We've had funerals here. We're great resource for our communities to be able to host those kind of events. And through our association, we can certainly find resources with each other where we can just be better at what we do.
Sharing of ideas is always good. And on the outside looking into your industry, I wonder sometimes how competitive it is, particularly when you are talking about the trade shows. Are they going to go to, New Braunfels, or are they going to go to Early? Just using those two cities randomly as an example.
Balance. That's a valid.
And look, you are right. We are all different sizes facilities, but it's also nice too, because when a lot of times people come to us wanting to host their events in our facility. So here again, another resource. You can send the question to the group and say, "Hey, have you heard of this group? How was it when they were at your deal?" And so you learn a lot. I mean, you just learn a lot from being able to be connected with all these venues, and they're very open and sharingly. I know when we opened our facility, which has only been open since 2019, we toured other facilities to see what they were doing, and we got a lot of information of don't do that. Like tablecloths is one of the things. The guy, when we told Mike in Granbury, said, only do black and white. Don't get into all the different colors, because he said, there's 50 colors of pink, there's 50 colors of purple, and then you run out of space. And I know we have another venue they're going through the same thing now, and their venue's not open, but she's found it very beneficial to be able to go to our meetings and get to see the tours and see what others are doing. When we have our bi-monthly meetings at each facility, we do what we call a back of the house tour. So we get to see all of the back stuff, the storage, the kitchen. I mean, things that most people,
the fun stuff.
We call it the fun stuff, but we get to see all of that, and it's just really neat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What would you say is the biggest challenges for venues and facilities going forward? We already talked about the pandemic, supply chain. Is it booking the venues? Is it marketing events? What's the biggest challenges you see?
I'll say for us, what we're discovering since I'm going to call it post-COVID, events that maybe were not super full, they may be at capacity, at their expectation for sure. We're finding that they are meeting their capacity and sometimes exceeding that. So being able to help them plan and be prepared as well as us is sometimes we need to be better at strategizing, to be prepared for those things to happen. And I have found I've asked that question at our association meeting, and it seems like obviously we're not the only one that's having that experience. Everyone is, and it is helpful to kind of gauge and know that we need to be anticipating that.
Your annual conference is coming up in Waco. What can members gain from attendance?
Oh gosh, what do you think is our? Well, we're going to have fantastic speakers, as you know,
that you will be there. And we are, when I say we are the Texas Association, we're fairly small at this point. I mean, I think we gained membership during COVID, and I think we've talked about this. We need to better market ourselves and tell people that we are, out there and get more venues involved. I mean, we're probably at an annual conference, we're a smaller one, probably only about 50 people, maybe a little, give or take.
Right around there, maybe 60 or so.
There you go. Okay. And but it's a great opportunity, and you kind of joked about it, but I am going to be there joining you guys. I'm looking forward to that.
Excited.
We are super excited.
Yeah, there you go. And if there is a venue and facility owner in Texas right now, they're watching the interview and they're not a member of the association, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that they need to join. Like I said, it is a superior asset, and the networking that you get to do. And I say our memberships are very cheap. I mean, if you're one venue, currently it's only $125. It's going to $150, I believe, in the new year. And then if you have more than one venue, it's only $175. And you get to the form questions alone, to be able to send that question and find out what your peers are doing is worth more than, to me is worth way more than the $175.
That's awesome. I appreciate your time. And the website is txavf.com. There it is on your screen, txavf.com. That's where you can find out how to join if you own a facility or venue in Texas. And also to find out about the annual conference, which is coming up in Waco. Is it too late to sign up for the conference?
You can still sign up. And even if you're not a member and you just want to come check it out to see if you want to do that, you can still sign up too. Yeah. There's a different rate for non-members, and even our bi-monthly meetings. If you want to first come in and see what it is that you're getting into, you can do that too. And there's, I think it's only $20 for that.
All right. Well, we'll be back right after this.